You're watching Let the Quran Speak. Now we answer questions we've received from you, our viewers. If you have a question, visit our website, QuranSpeaks.com. Dr. Shabir, the question is, I immigrated to Canada where everyone celebrates Christmas. Back home, our scholars said that if you say Merry Christmas to someone, then you have committed a sin. And if I bring presents to my colleagues, that is also wrong. My question is, how should I reply when someone says Merry Christmas to me? And how should I deal with my colleagues at work?
So, I should add to what the questioner is saying that even here, there will be some who say that if you say Merry Christmas, you're committing a sin.
Yes.
The European Fatwa Council, the European Council for Fatwa and Research, they deal with questions facing Muslims who live as minorities in Europe and America and Australia and elsewhere, by extension, Canada. In answering this question, they have said basically that you have to build goodwill with your fellow citizens, and if this is one of the ways to do it, well then so be it. You have to, and you can imagine the flip side. If you said no, I'm not going to do any of this. I'm not going to say Merry Christmas or whatever. Then you are basically isolating yourself from the wider populace, and you're making other people feel that you're different and odd. And that's not like long term, this is not sustainable. So I believe this is a very reasonable fatwa. Now, those who are on the other hand saying, no, you can't say Merry Christmas, you're involving yourself in shirk, which means associating partners with God and so on, they have a simplistic, simplistic view about Christianity and what Christmas entails. Christmas by itself does not entail the worship of Jesus. There are Unitarian Christians who do not worship Jesus, but they would still celebrate Christmas as the birthday of Jesus on whom be peace. So the celebration of Christmas itself does not necessarily mean that one is worshiping Jesus. Some people celebrate Christmas by worshiping Jesus. Some people do not celebrate Christmas by not even have anything to do with Jesus. It's largely a social phenomenon that has become very widely practiced in Canada in particular, by people who are religious and people who are not religious. So every once in a while, a preacher will be preaching on the topic of, the man who is behind the season, like who is the reason for the season. They want to remind people
because it's become so commercialized.
About Jesus, because people have even forgotten about Jesus, much less to worship Jesus. So in this wider landscape, to say Merry Christmas in the office or to your neighbor, this does not entail that you are condoning the worship of Jesus. It just means that you recognize that this is the time when people are happy and they're saying, a word of merriment to other people. So it's not a time to be melancholy and to say, well, be grumpy like the Grinch who stole Christmas, because all of these things have deep implications for people. For people around us, Christmas is so very important, and you can't take that away. You can't steal it. Otherwise, you become like Grinch, right? Who stole Christmas. So in this environment, it is important that we build alliances and we recognize, like, there are limits. Certainly, a Muslim cannot say, okay, I want to be like my neighbor and be friends with them, so I'm going to worship Jesus along with them. That is totally haram. It is illegal. It is shirk. It's not right for Muslims. But to say Merry Christmas to the other person, this is not involving yourself in shirk. It is not something haram. It's just cheering up your fellow human being. And the Quran says, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Speak kindly to people. Speak a kind and good word to other people. Saying to another person, I wish that this should be a happy time for you. Then, like saying good morning. When we say good morning, we don't mean, oh, it's good, you atheist, you got up this morning and you deny God, so it's a good morning for you. We don't mean, oh, you worshiper of someone other than God, it's a good morning for you that you're worshiping someone other than God. We just mean that you as a human being are here as a servant of God. God is giving you the air to breathe and the sunlight for your benefit, and water to drink. And we wish you all the best.
Yes, you're right. Good morning had it had a relationship to God, and it was changed to good morning. But yeah, you're right about that. Yeah. Thank you for that, Dr. Shabir.
You're welcome. Our videos reach people all over the world. We hope you will seize the opportunity to share in the reward from God. Please support us today.